Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about a very powerful state that each and every single one of you can do quite easily. It is something that Adronis has actually recently brought up in a session with a client of mine, and something that can now be openly shared. It's something I have not shared before, but it's something that is overall quite simple to do. So what is this? Well, this is what's referred to as your own inner counsel. You want to think of it as the communing council of your own higher mind. The ones that basically oversee cosmic law. The ones that basically govern your karma. Well, Brad, how am I able to connect with this higher inner council? Well, it's quite simple, and it's basically what Adronis has shared with this client of mine. I'm going to do my best to share it with you as well too, because there are some personal things that she received which I'm not going to reveal, but it is going to be something that is quite simple for you to follow. Number one, if you are already highly visual, what I would recommend right now is that you close your eyes and you envision what's known as an octahedron. Okay, so an octahedron is like two four-sided pyramids connected at the base, one facing up, one inverted or facing down. Okay, you can even type this into Google Images if you want to. Okay, you're just typing in octahedron. That is OCTAHEDRON, an octahedron. I'll even put up an image of an octahedron here for you so you can take a look at it. Now, if you are able to visualize this naturally, then you're in a good state. Okay, you do not need to spin it, you do not need to rotate it, you do not need to shrink it, you do not need to expand it, you don't even need to put colors in it, okay? Whatever color it appears to you, let it be. If it's simply black and white in a frame, that's okay too, okay? So I just want you to see the contours, the shape of an octahedron. Now, if you are not visual, that's okay too. Visualization is never a requirement for these things, okay? It helps, but it's never a requirement. So what I would suggest you do is you go to Google Images and you see an image of an octahedron. If you can, put it on your phone, put it on your tablet, or print it out. And I want you just to stare at it, okay? So for those of you who are visual, who are able to see the octahedron easily, you're good to go. For those of you who are not quite visual, but you have a picture of an octahedron on your phone, on your tablet, or something that you've printed out, then you're good to go as well. Okay? So when you have the octahedron in your awareness, what you are doing right now is you're just confessing to it what your debt is. What's your karmic debt? Okay? That debt could be a physical debt. That could be student loans. Okay? That could be a credit card payment. That could be a home loan. That could be any particular type of bill or debt that you are attempting to remedy, okay? Maybe that debt may represent health, okay? Which means maybe you have a poor immune system, maybe you have cancer, maybe you have diabetes, maybe you have a back problem, whatever it may be, okay? Whatever your debt is, even if it's towards another person, okay? If it's towards a family member, if it's towards a partner, if it's towards a child, whatever it may be, any particular type of debt that you are going through. So this can be physical, this can be financial, this can be career-based, this can be family-based, you name it, okay? So what you're doing is you're just thinking of your debt and you're giving it to the octahedron, okay? So when you see it in your mind, it's like you see your hand, just like you're holding this little bit of energy, and you're just giving it to it, okay? Even if you just see the invisible, right? You see like this invisible energy within your hand, you're just giving it to the octahedron. Once you give it to the octahedron, I want you to keep staring at the octahedron, whether you are doing it visually or whether you are doing it through the assistance of an image, okay? So whether you are doing it in your mind or whether you are doing it through an image, go ahead and do that now. And I want you to continue to stare at it until there is some particular type of subtle movement within your body, okay? That could be a fluttering of the heart. That could be a jolt. That could be just a feeling of an impulse, the impulse of a feeling that's there, okay? Anything that really represents that conscientious discovery within yourself that something has flinched, something has fluttered, something has jolted, a muscle has spasmed, okay? The feeling that, again, there's just this impulse, this realization that there's a connection. That's all you got to do. Just make your body a feeling of a kinesiological or muscle testing instrument right now. Just let the light flutter come through. When you have that light flutter, then that is telling me that you are fully connected with the council. Okay? So once you have that body reaction that is very subtle, you are now connected to your own inner council. And now what you are basically going to do is that you are going to command your council to erase this debt. Okay? You are just going to command your council to erase this debt. And that's it. Okay? When you command your council to erase this debt, if it indeed becomes successfully erased, it means you have done enough good actions within your life that has enabled the debt itself to be completely erased. If you notice that not much has changed, we want to come back to this exercise and do a type of step 2. Okay? So what you basically do is you give yourself a considerable amount of time, perhaps under a week, right? You see how things go over a span of 7 days. And if you notice that not much has changed, you're going to come back to this exercise again. Okay? You're going to do the exact same thing to visualize or have an image of the octahedron. And once the octahedron is there and you feel that little flutter once again, not only you're going to put the energy of the debt back into the octahedron, but you're going to ask itself, is there anything I need to do to help remove this debt from my life? Okay? That would be step 2. And we only do step 2 if nothing is coming about through step 1. Okay? If step 1 already happens, it's been 7 days, and you already noticed that your debt has been completely expunged, then you're good. Then what I would suggest is that you keep doing it over and over again for every other single debt that you have. But again, if it does not happen that way, you go to step 2. Okay, so step 2 is just asking the question, right? Is there anything I need to do to release this debt completely? Is there anything I need to do that will help me to completely remedy this debt? Okay? And there will be some type of synchronistic answer that will come to you, which means it may not always happen internally, where you're basically tuning in and all of a sudden you're getting a voice and the voice says to you, oh, this is what you have to do. No, in fact, what will happen with many people is there will be some type of external message, okay? And you'll get the feeling of having to perform a certain duty. Now, Brad, what is that duty? That duty often involves being selfless, okay? That involves being able to perform a selfless duty. When you're helping a person across the street, when you're opening a door for somebody, when you're wishing people good morning, when you are volunteering in a kitchen, when you are doing any particular type of community work, okay? This is the idea of selfless service. And selfless service, if we're to look at it in a bank account, on a karmic level, when it represents the idea of your karmic reward, is exponential. It's like becoming a millionaire. This is really all you're doing, is that if you have a life where you have lived good deeds, meaning that you have helped people out, you have been very compassionate to others, you have assisted them in many different ways, you're always wanting to take the shirt off your back to help somebody else, you have a very rich karmic bank account. Okay? If you are selfish, if you are cruel, if you are manipulating, if you don't want to give anybody the time of day, you are basically going to have a lot of overdrafts with this karmic account. And that may be why you're racking up so much debt. You're racking up so much debt because you're only thinking about yourself. You're not aiding, helping, serving, being there for other people. You're not being selfless, right? And that is the reason why these particular debts do not get expunged. So Brad, what happens when these debts do get expunged? You're going to see it happen, right? You'll just notice that through the debt that's coming together, there is an intervention that takes place that will give you the quote-unquote storyline on the expunging of your debt, of debt forgiveness, as they call it, okay? And like I said, this debt can work towards anything: physical health, money, career, family, relationships, everything, okay? And it's just a matter of looking at your debt, because our debt comes from the idea of being in despair. Our debt comes into the idea of being the victim, of going into victim consciousness. Our debt comes into being neglectful, of being unaware, of being ignorant. So when you start working together with this is going to completely transform your entire life as you commune with your inner counsel, okay? Your inner counsel governs the very nature of your karma throughout your entire continuum of life. So when you start going in and working with the inner counsel through the octahedron, which is the symbolism of your inner counsel, and being able to place that debt directly into the octahedron with the intention to clear that debt from your life. That's all you're doing. And again, you give it 7 days. After 7 days, if nothing has taken place, please perform step 2, okay? Where you're asking the question and letting the answer to the question come to you all together. So give this a try. Let me know how it goes. And I want to thank you again for tuning in. More videos to come. Take care. Namaskar. And may it be well with you. Bye for now.
Let me hear the wisdom transmissions. The wisdom transmissions. So many voices, so many interpretations.